In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to use lists in TickTick. By the end, you'll know how to navigate the key views, work with your lists, group and sort tasks in ways that make sense, add new tasks quickly, review what you've completed, and keep things tidy with the trash and list options. Start by opening the TickTick web app. Once you're in, take a moment to look at the left sidebar. That's where you'll find your main navigation. At the top, you'll see smart views that give you time-based snapshots of your tasks. Click Today to focus on what's due or scheduled for the current day. This is perfect for daily execution because it filters out everything that isn't urgent right now. If your list feels long, that's your cue to reschedule or reprioritize before you dive in. Next, switch to the next 7 days view. This widens your horizon and helps you plan your week. You'll see the tasks spread across the upcoming days, which is great for spotting overloaded days and balancing your workload. If you notice that 2 days are packed while others are light, this is the place to drag items around or adjust due dates so the week feels manageable. Now, head over to Inbox. Inbox is the default capture bucket in TickTick. When you add tasks without choosing a specific list, they land here. Think of it as your catch-all for quick brain dumps and ideas. You can review Inbox and move tasks to the right lists later. It's a simple system. Capture first, organize second. Below those smart views, you'll find your lists. Click the list section to expand it if it's collapsed. This is where your custom lists live, such as work, personal, projects, or anything else you need. Select one of your lists to focus on that context. This makes it easier to stay in the right mode and avoid mixing unrelated tasks. With your list open, let's shape how your tasks appear so they're easier to process. Look for the sorting controls at the top of the list. You'll see options to group by and sort by. Grouping clusters tasks into sections, while sorting arranges tasks within those sections or across the whole list if you're not grouping. Using the right combination keeps your list readable and aligned with how you think. Click Group By to open the grouping menu. First, choose Date. This will cluster tasks by due date, such as overdue, today, tomorrow, or later. Grouping by date is ideal when you manage deadlines and need to see what's happening soon. It's especially helpful for project lists where due dates drive your work. If you're a time-sensitive planner, this view gives you a clear timeline. Open Group By again and choose Tag. This groups tasks by the tags you've attached, like @calls, @errands, or @design. Tag grouping is powerful when tasks share a context or resource. For example, group by tag to batch all phone calls together and knock them out in one go. It's also helpful if you use tags for teams, locations, or tools because it lets you work efficiently without switching contexts. Open Group by once more and choose Priority. This clusters tasks by importance, often using color-coded priorities. It's a great way to ensure high-priority items rise to the top of your attention. If you're looking for a simple urgency-first approach, grouping by priority helps you spot what truly matters before you get lost in a long list. If you want a flat list without sections, open Group By again and select None. This removes all grouping. A flat list can feel lighter and faster to scan, especially for smaller lists or when you just want to sort tasks without extra headings. It's also useful when you're doing quick reviews or making bulk changes. Now let's sort tasks. Click Sort By. Choose Date if you want tasks arranged by due date in ascending or logical order. This keeps your impending deadlines near the top and helps you glide through upcoming work without scanning the entire list. If you rely on dates heavily, this is usually the most intuitive option. Open Sort By again and select Title to order tasks alphabetically. Title sorting is handy for reference lists, inventories, or checklists where you're not driven by due dates but want items in a predictable, stable order. It also helps when you're scanning a long list for a specific name or keyword. Select Tag from Sort By if you want tasks arranged by their tag labels. This is different from grouping. Sorting by tag simply orders the list based on tag names, while grouping creates visual sections. Choose sorting when you want a simple flow without divisions but still prefer related items near each other. Finally, choose Priority from Sort By if you want high priority tasks to stay at the top. This is a good companion to Group By None because it surfaces critical work while keeping a minimal, flat layout. You can toggle back and forth until the list feels right for your current session. Let's add a task to this list. Click the Add Task field and type your task name. Keep it actionable and clear, like Draft Project Outline rather than something vague. Press Enter to save it to the list. You can add more details later if needed, but the goal is to capture it quickly so it doesn't slip through the cracks. If you already know the due date, tag, or priority, you can set those now, and they'll immediately influence how the task appears with your current group and sort settings. When you complete a task, mark it done by clicking the checkbox. Completed items will move out of your active list view. If you want to review what you finished, open the completed section. This is useful for weekly reviews or for confirming that something really did get done. It also reassures you that tasks aren't gone. They're just archived from your active workflow. If you decide to remove something altogether, open the trash. The trash gives you a safety net if you delete a task and later change your mind. It's a good habit to clear out trash periodically so your workspace stays lean, but check carefully before you empty it to avoid losing anything you still need. Before we wrap up, let's talk about creating another list and tailoring it to your needs. When you add a new list, you can choose a list color to make it easy to spot in the sidebar and distinguish it from others at a glance. Pick a view type that matches how you like to work with that list. For example, some lists are great as simple task lists, while others benefit from a board-style layout. You can place the list inside a folder to keep related lists organized together, like grouping all project lists under a single folder for easy navigation. Finally, pick the list type that best represents the content you'll track there. Deciding these options up front helps you avoid clutter and ensures each list has a clear purpose. To recap your flow, use today for immediate execution and next 7 days for weekly planning. Capture new items in inbox and then move them into the right lists. Inside any list, use Group By to create sections based on date, tag, or priority, and use Sort By to fine-tune the order. Add tasks quickly with clear names, mark them complete when you're done, and use completed and trash to keep your workspace clean and accountable. And when you need a new list, set its color, view, folder, and type so it fits seamlessly into your system. That's it for using lists in TickTick. Follow these steps and your list will stay organized, flexible, and ready to support your day. Thanks for watching and happy planning.